Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast, or welcome if you're new. Today I just have some cool stuff to show, and I have thoughts on like a few things. Nothing crazy this week. Really nothing crazy. It rained all day here. I guess that's kind of crazy. I enjoyed it. I got soaked because I had to stand outside for a while, but I can't say doing what other than having a job. So yeah, I did that today and it was fun. The sunrise this morning looked sick. I don't know if I can show what it looked like. Let me see if I can crop it in a way where you can't tell. Dang, man. My Google Drive looks so different now. I organized it on Saturday. I like consolidated folders and deleted some stuff and moved stuff around. It's nice. I'll show the double rainbow and man, I'll find out a way to crop the sunrise. Sunrise is really pretty. Try to find out a way to do this. But yeah, it looked really nice. It was like pink, and then like a double rainbow spawned, and it was cool. I thought it was neat. It was quite a treat. I wasn't gonna continue the rhyme there. I am usually in the past not awake for stuff like this, or it's already cropped perfectly, or I'm inside of a building and I can't see like what's going on. All right, this one's gonna be tricky. Okay, I have to crop out the building I'm in. So, let's see. That's gonna be really difficult. Damn. And I'm gonna crop out the cars. Okay. This is all you get. Is that. That's probably not even enough information for Rainbolt to go off of. But yes, there you go. That's the sunrise for you. And then let me show the rainbows, because the rainbows don't show anything. So look at these rainbows. How cool is that? You can kind of vaguely see the second one on the right. It's hard to see, but yeah, that was my morning, getting to see a double rainbow and a cool sunrise. But anyways, there's some cool stuff I've been seeing. I go on Reddit from time to time, and I go on Twitter a decent amount. And I've seen this video twice now, to the point where now I'm like, I should just show, because somebody did make a good point. This guy made a good point about this, but I won't say what it is until after you've watched the video, because I think this is just cool to watch. This firefighter is wearing a body cam, and he's putting out a fire. How cool is that? I don't know what kind of GoPro it is. I forgot, because the Reddit post goes into detail, and this is the Twitter post. But it looks cool. It looks sick. Bro's putting in work. And how cool is this? I've never seen this from the firefighter's perspective. That debris. Where is this? Is what I'm wondering.
Oh!
It's kind of mesmerizing. How come house fires can get so out of control, and yet when I try to host a bonfire, but when I try to host a bonfire, that shit goes out in an instant. No, I'm just playing. I'm actually pretty decent at creating bonfires. It's not that hard. When you're friends with many Boy Scouts and throughout your time being alive, and even a couple of Eagle Scouts here and there, you do learn how to maintain a fire. Somebody made a good point. So they said, so these body cams can stay operational during high-intensity situations without failure? And that is a good point. Yeah, these body cams seem to be pretty powerful, I gotta say. Someone said it's much more complicated than you could really understand. You see, super high temperatures are something that modern electronics can withstand, but the sheer intensity of a 4 a.m. raid on the Clinton Airport director's private home will cause instant equipment failure. Dude, it's like every time... Dude, every time the police are like, oh, my body cam just stopped working. Come on. Ugh. I just thought that video was neat. I've never seen a fire be put out quite like that before. So let's get some political stuff out of the way before I move on to this racist video. Right now, as I'm speaking, the Senate is gearing up for a vote to stop arms shipments to Israel. Now, this vote is held tomorrow as of this recording. Can I please just burp instead of having it sit on my chest like this? This vote is taking place tomorrow. It's not gonna pass. But I do like the symbolic gesture of it. But unfortunately, I know it's not gonna pass. Like, you know, let's not kid ourselves here. Most of the Senate has AIPAC funding. They're not, and they've historically always voted in favor of Israel. Nothing's going to stop that. Nothing's going to change. There will be a few symbolic votes from a few Democrats who are like, well, here's my mark on the world. And they're going to vote no, or they're going to vote yes to stop arms shipments. Obviously, Bernie Sanders is going to. He's the one who introduced the bill with two other senators. So we're guaranteed at least 3 votes on this bill. And obviously the bill's not gonna pass. Obviously. If it ever did pass the Senate, there's no way it gets through the House. Yeah. I think it's a bill, right? It's a bill that he's calling for a vote for. I could be wrong. I feel like I've been misinterpreting this the entire time. U.S. Senate to vote on blocking arms sales to Israel. It's a bill, right?
We are here this morning to discuss the 3 joint resolutions of disapproval, or JRDs, that the Senate will be voting on tomorrow. They are SJ Res 111 to block 120 millimeter tank rounds, SJ Res 113 to block 120 millimeter high explosive mortar rounds, SJ Res 115 to block JDAMs, which are guidance kits attached to many of the bombs dropped in Gaza. The truth of the matter is that from a legal perspective,
it is SJ Res 111, a joint resolution providing for congressional disapproval of the proposed foreign military sale to the government of Israel of certain defense articles and services. Awesome. So yeah, it's a bill to block arms shipments. I don't know why I was second guessing myself on that. Like I haven't read a billion times about this proposal. Sanders has been calling for he proposed the bill in September, and so I knew about this. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. There are many joint resolutions that he's pushing for, because he's pushing for the blocking of like any particular weapon that the U.S. would arm them with. I can't see it passing the Senate, unfortunately. I just can't. And that's unfortunate. But I'm not surprised. Like it's misplaced optimism for me to act like I'm, like for me to be like, "Oh man, this is so unexpected. It didn't pass. What?" I'm not going to be surprised. I would be absolutely shocked beyond hell if it did pass the Senate. But I wouldn't be hopeful, because I don't think it has even a slight chance of passing the House if it left the Senate. And sure as hell will be vetoed by Joe Biden. There's no way Biden would sign that bill into practice. There's no way. He's like a staunch Israel supporter, dude. He's their top dog. We've had their backs since I was a baby, Jack. Since I was 5. Listen here, Jack. I'll never turn my back on them. Not even a little bit. They could blow up the White House and I would still have their back. So yeah. So that's what's going on in the Senate. Oh, I have access to this trending thing on Twitter. I'm not going to call it new because it's not new. It's old. It's an old feature from Twitter that they removed and have now revived, because now that when he fired everybody at Twitter, he fired the team that curated articles that would go in the Explore trending tab. These people used to gather news articles from multiple sources and consolidate them into news stories and present them to you on your feed. And if this isn't proof that my phone's listening to me, I don't know what is. Ever since they got rid of that feature because he fired the people who did it, I think Twitter has sucked. If I didn't still have Twitter on my phone in a way that, like, it looks like Twitter, because it is, Here's what Twitter looks like on my phone. And that's because I have not updated Twitter in almost 2 years. If I updated it to X for whatever reason, I would delete it immediately. It's useless to me at this point. Like, I only ever went on there to read about news. It was one of the greatest news curators of all time. He fired everyone and the feature went away. And like 2 days ago, I was talking about this in the car for some reason. I was like, God, I remember the days when Twitter had the trending tab with the news articles on it, where these guys would pick like cool little catchy names for articles that I could read. And I was talking about that. I was upset that it's gone. I now have access to the beta program that gives me those exact news stories back, but it replaces my entire trending tab. My entire For You trending tab is now pretty much gone. And I'm not thrilled about that. I'm also not thrilled at the fact that the news articles are AI generated by Grok. The stupid ass Twitter Blue only AI thing that they have on here. Sorry, X Premium. Yeah, literally Grok, the Pornhub Premium bot that they have on here, generates all of these for you. I only mention that because the top story right now is about Elon Musk, which is insane because it only has 3.6 thousand posts tied to it. The other one being one about Taylor Swift and Kendrick, which has 14,000. Another one about the Capitol Hill transgender bathroom bill, which has 171,000 on it. Libs of TikTok being the leader on that one, by the way. I have her blocked and she still shows up on my feed. And then the one about the U.S. Senate, which has 45,000 posts. Why is the one about Elon Musk at the very top? I don't know. And it's also the oldest one on this tab. Elon Musk is on the top because he is suing Twitch via Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. He's suing them because he's saying that they coordinated to not run advertising on the platform. So, when you say go fuck yourself to all of your advertisers, how much ground do you have to stand on when you then start suing those advertisers? One of the funniest things is that I've seen people say buy Twitch, which would just immediately exodus the platform of any advertisers that they even have left. It also seems to be coincidentally coming at a time when Twitch doesn't have as many ads running on the platform, an adpocalypse, as one might call it. An adpocalypse that is seemingly not affecting any other streamer except for just political ones and people that include American foreign adversary countries in their tags, which is really stupid. This comes at a really coincidental time. I just think it's so stupid. It's clearly, I don't think he thinks he'll win the lawsuit. I think he's just trying to tie up Twitch in court, just to say that he did something. I think he's just trying to bleed them of money. They're owned by Amazon. It is kind of funny to see the two richest people on Earth go at it like this and it be so one-sided. But, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think this lawsuit will hold any weight. I think he's just doing it to bleed Twitch of money. Moving on. Let's watch this racist video. Now, we are probably no stranger to white people crying and complaining about, black people being cast in roles. But, I have new trending stuff. Trump nominates Dr. Oz What? Are you fucking kidding me? To lead the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Why? That doesn't even feel like a decision he made. This this makes no sense. Isn't this dude like a total fraud? Dude, Pennsylvania has got to be regretting voting for fucking Trump, right?
Nomination from the president. We have some breaking news. A new nomination from the president-elect. He wants Dr. Mehmet Oz to be the CMS administrator. He is saying in a statement, the president-elect, that Dr. Oz will work closely with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to take on the illness industrial complex and all of the horrible chronic diseases left in its wake. We know Dr. Oz spends a good amount of time here in Palm Beach, close to Mar-a-Lago. We have some breaking news. A new...
Oh my god, I'm gonna age 18 fucking years during this presidency. I'm gonna be like 45 by the time he's out of office, man. Either literally or just visually. Oh my god. What a gargantuanly disastrous pick. Holy shit, man. This is a statement I never thought I'd hear. Dr. Oz will work closely with RFK Jr. to take on the illness industrial complex and all the horrible chronic diseases left in its wake. Oh my fuck. Even the Republicans don't like this. No way. Even the Republicans are not on board with this for the most part. Dude, this is crazy. Someone said Dr. Ben Carson might have been a better choice. At this point, yeah. Oh my god, this dude's like the supplement king. He's definitely going to put Mike Lindell somewhere. Oh my gosh, he probably is, dude. No. Oh no. Dude, I'm shocked he didn't pick Alex Jones as the press secretary. That's the one thing I'm shocked about. He announced the press secretary. It's some 27-year-old woman that I've never heard of. I don't know where she comes from. I'm sure she works for like the Heritage Foundation or something. But she's the youngest press secretary to serve in the role. And it's like, I'm shocked he didn't pick Alex Jones. Alex Jones would have been such an unhinged and entertaining pick. It would have been awful. I think he knows his limit. I think he knows that there are enough crazy people in this world that they would just like, they would go nuts on the government. There would be a January 6th times 80 if he picked certain people for certain positions. Oh my gosh, man. Woo! Damn. Anyways, that's, wow, what a pick. What a fucking pick. Holy mother of God. I have to call my mom after this. She's gonna be horrified. We used to watch Dr. Oz when I was a kid. And like after a few years we started realizing like, this guy's pushing a lot of bullshit on his show. Like he'd be like, will these vitamins cure your AIDS? Find out in the next 5 minutes after this commercial break. Or he'd be like, will drinking this juice give you better gut health? We'll find out next after that. Like that's all he would do. And you would watch and you'd be like, this seems like a bit of a pipe dream. And then it turns out it was. He was always pushing these like non-FDA approved like supplement things that don't have to have FDA approval, where it would be like, want to cure your cancer? Take vitamin B3. And he'd push for that, and then like it wouldn't work. It was proven to not work. You know, and then we found out he was running for the Senate in Pennsylvania, and we were like, what? I'm in the grocery. I'm here to buy an crudité. Look at how expensive these groceries are. These high-end rich people foods that I'm buying. Anyway, there's this person that is talking about some How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. This is what I was originally going to talk about. And I have a lot of thoughts on her video because, I mean, what a take. We've been hearing this for years. It's actually one of the things that pulled me out of going down the alt-right pipeline. It's one of the things that did, where it was people being like, oh my gosh, they casted a black guy for this role. And I would look at it and I'd be like, there's like 5 white people on this cast and 1 black person. What is the complaint here? If anything, it's actually not good that there aren't more people of color in the cast. It's a little alarming when the cast doesn't need to be specifically white. And, you know, I've always said, like, obviously it would be ridiculous if you casted someone in a Obama biopic as a white guy. That would never happen. It's the argument I hear from right-wingers all the time. I've always said, you know, obviously that would be ridiculous. Hence why they would never do that. If they did, it would be probably for a joke and for some, like, absurdist comedy. Other than that, they would not seriously do something like that. There are cases to be made that, you know, certain movie franchises that are based on real world things, you can tweak it. And in the case of How to Train Your Dragon, it looks like Astrid is being casted as a black woman. That's fine with me. And the argument you're going to hear soon is, I'm setting it up like I'm a lawyer. The argument you're about to hear is going to be, oh, these movies are about Viking culture and it takes the realism out. Let's just ground ourselves in reality before we start this video. I want you to watch this video through the lens of, we are talking about a movie franchise about Vikings that are at war with dragons. And one of the Vikings tries to tame one of the most dangerous dragons. Already the existence of the dragons takes this out of a realistic setting. End of story. So, watch this video through that lens.
What the fuck? And before you start with me, yeah, it has to do with her race. Because this is a
So, I will warn you, she will be very openly racist. Look at how mad she's getting about this. She is going to be fairly openly racist during this.
story about Vikings. Look at the real Astrid.
It's a story about dragons. Let's be so real. It's a story about dragons. Characters have been recast as people of color in live action adaptations before. I've never seen the problem. It's just clearly that they wanted an actress that happened to not be white, and so they gave it to an actress that happens to not be white. I'm fine with it.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
The blonde hair, blue eye point out is very alarming, but I'm not surprised she streams on Rumble.
You know, people love to throw out the term whitewashed a lot, but I would really love to discuss what kind of color washing is happening.
Color washing is a crazy term. Whitewashing is a very real term. If you made a movie about the origins of jazz and it was all white people, yes, that is whitewashing. If you make an Elvis movie where you don't bring up the fact that Elvis's manager stole the concept of rock and roll from black people to some extent, then yes, that would be whitewashing. There are many examples of whitewashing. If you take something where diversity has been included and you completely wipe it out with white, that is what whitewashing is. There is no such thing as color washing because people of color are already so underrepresented in media that recasting a few white people as people of color is not a problem. And it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't bother you. White people are all over media. It's all over the place. People of color being cast in roles that would, in the past, probably go to white people. That's totally fine.
Happening to every live action movie that comes out now. Didn't need it. Definitely.
So I want to go over the examples that she chooses. What is this Pinocchio? Let me go over these examples.
Didn't need it. Definitely didn't need it. Still.
Who are they? See, this is how much I don't give a fuck. What is this show, movie, thing?
Didn't need it. Still.
She's green! This is the thing that made me want to talk about this video. She's green! Who cares? It could have been anyone playing that character. They would have been green. Guys, come on. This one didn't even matter. Like, whatever, make your argument about the other characters. She's green. She's literally green. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? She's green.
Still don't want it. And here you guys are basically making the Lion King live action with How to Train Your Dragon. Just because you hired real actors does not mean that you're not gonna have to CGI half that fucking movie. That's not even the point. I was willing to let go of the CGI thing when you weren't gonna do another race swap. That is
Oh my god, dude. Brain rot to the... How old is this person? Like 14? What is this room? It screams high school. If she's under 18, oh my god. She looks like she's 35. That's what being racist does to you. It ages you. How old is this girl? Oh, gosh. Famous birthdays. She's 25? She posts videos about her Disneyland trips and Disney outfits. She frequently makes gaming content and uses TikTok filters. Oh my gosh, man. Oh. Oh man. This is embarrassing. She's got an Instagram. Dude, all she does is go to Disney.
anything, can you? The first thing I heard was that y'all were gonna do this blue bracelet thing. And then I started seeing women shaving their heads and claiming that they want to make themselves ugly and unattractive for men. Which, by the way, is just super thoughtful and kind to all the women out there who are actively struggling to maintain their hair while going through chemotherapy for cancer. Now yours.
What kind of reach? What kind of reach? Oh my gosh, why didn't you just stick?
I never.
Why didn't you just stick to the fucking Disney content? Oh boy.
Let me tell you something. One of the most important days in American history was 9/12/2001. Not 9/11. We all know what happened on 9/11.
Oh my gosh. Dude, this is all she does. Ugh, she's like the smug liberal from 2017. That's what she reminds me of, is the smug liberal. She had a couple photos on her Instagram that I didn't show where she has like the eyebrow raised and she has like the half smirk. Like the fucking Roblox face. Dude, she's like a smarmy little smug liberal that's like, oh yeah, Donald Trump, take away I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what liberals think. It's like some shit like that you'd see on like Twitter in 2017. It's so stupid. She should have just stuck to the Disney content, dude.
So hard about staying true to the original stories? Do we have to keep reinventing them? Because obviously no one likes them. Except for the loudmouth stars that you choose to do them, of course. Because here is the new Astrid saying, I could never do America Ferrera's interpretation of Astrid because I am not her. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be her. Honestly, I think we're at the point where we can start calling this cultural appropriation. You know,
Oh my god, white people have... If this doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to get offended, because I'm white and I don't do this. And so whenever I hear people go, white people do this, I don't get offended because it doesn't apply to me. So I just want to preface this up front. If this doesn't apply to you, don't get offended by my generalization. I'm not talking about you. White people have such an insane level of entitlement. It is insane to me how they grab these words that are used to describe real culture vultures, the theft of cultures that have been completely either almost wiped out or almost totally erased from the planet. To take terms that describe those things and then spin them back around like oppressed minorities are stealing white culture. What culture do we have that isn't stolen from people that white people have historically oppressed? What culture do we have that is so precious that when we cast a black woman as Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon's live action remake, that we're going to start crying and screaming that they're stealing white culture? She's going to try to make the argument here that, like, it's taking away from Viking culture. I want you to actually ask somebody in Scandinavia if they give a fuck, dude. Oh my gosh. It's insane to me. It's insane. One cast. One black woman cast as a role that was animated as a white girl in an animated film. And the argument about like the Disney princesses and stuff and all the Disney stories where they're recasting, because keep in mind, How to Train Your Dragon, I believe, is a DreamWorks project. All of this is not even Disney. I don't even know why she's talking about this. The stories where they're recasting characters to be people of color. One, these stories are made up. They're not real. Two, they're not Disney's original stories. They are originally written down in books. They're written stories. Most of them are. Let's say none of these stories have ever been adapted before. What's the problem with casting some of these characters as people of color? Even with that being said, the fact that they have been told before and they're being remade in a live action setting, what's the issue exactly with them being people of color? I just don't understand it, because then you go, well, then what's your solution? Oh, well, this girl would say it outright. She would just straight up say, I want the cast to all be white. That's how she would say it. She's upfront with it. Most people try to hide it behind dog whistles. You know, most people would dance around the answer and be like, oh, well, we should just only be casting based on merits, even though they have no idea if that's how the casting was chosen. In her case, she would probably just be like, I don't see why aren't they all white? That would be her justification. Dude, I can't believe they recasted Jake from State Farm as a black guy. They're really stealing my culture of white people historically being insurance agents for large automobile insurers. Oh my gosh, man. This is insane. There are way more important things to worry about. This is such a stupid thing to get worked up over.
I was willing to let go of the mermaid thing and the blue fairy thing and all these things because those are just mythological, made-up things. But now you're just distorting history so that you can effectively pander. I hear
Dude, it's a story about people training dragons. Come on. That's all it is. Oh my god. This is crazy. Right? Like, I'm not off base. Also, let's take into account who's preaching this at us right now. This is a Disney adult. Dude, when I tell you, oh my god, when I tell you the right wing will take anyone, this is what I'm talking about. This person pipes up in leftist circles. It's an infinite wheelhouse of insults. It's like Disney adult, moron, like immature. I literally thought she was a teenager. That's what she looks like. Her bedroom looks like a teenage girl's bedroom. She dresses like a teenage girl. She looks like a teenage girl. Her interests are in line with that of children. She's a Disney adult. She would be infinitely made fun of if she was on the left. And probably not very accepted by some of us as well. I'm shaking the table so much it activated my remote. However, because she's on the right, they're so desperate for anybody to cling on to. Literally anyone to cling on to. She's hitting just the right culture war points for them to be like, yes, come into our ranks. It doesn't matter that you literally look like you're a 14-year-old in your bedroom who has an unhealthy obsession with Disney. That part doesn't matter. Come into our ranks. You're racist just like us. And you're a little bit more open about it too. It's crazy.
a lot of people complain that we don't talk about Black history enough. Well, yeah, maybe it's because y'all are busy stealing everyone else's history.
Wow. This is the part that shocked me. Was her saying, the reason we don't talk about Black history a lot is because they keep stealing our history. What? What does that even mean? This is crazy to me that she took them casting Astrid as a black woman in the live action How to Train Your Dragon. She took that and concluded, because of this, we will not talk about Black history. The mental gymnastics. Think about where this video started and where it ended. That was her ultimate conclusion, is that we can do away with Black history because they keep, quote unquote, stealing our history.
Complain that we don't talk about Black history enough. Well, yeah, maybe it's because y'all are busy stealing everyone else's history.
Dude, she's gonna look like she's 50 when she gets to the age of 30. I'm just telling you that. Racism is a disease. And I insist you find the cure. Yeah, she says distorting history, it's about fucking dragons. Pointing out Cynthia Erivo with Baba's skin is fucking green. Yeah. Green skin, man. Like, she's upset because they cast a black woman to play a green witch in Wicked. That example alone shows that these people are really upset about. Yeah, exactly. What these people are really upset about. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. In a role where the skin color literally doesn't even, like, show. You would only know if you knew who the actress was playing her. They still make a big deal out of it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. This has been an ongoing debate for years now. It was one of the main reasons why I went, yeah, this is really dumb. I don't understand what the big deal is. Someone told me they didn't like The Acolyte because of the diversity. I didn't even notice that most of the people in that show were POC until they said that to me. And I was like, dog, I didn't give a fuck. And I still don't. Who cares? I'm like, why does it always have to be a white guy? And they go, well, it's because they're only doing it because of woke. It's like, okay. So why should they do it? Also, how do you know that that's why they did it? How do you know that? And if that is why they did it, why does that matter? Those are the questions you need to start asking yourself when they go, oh, they casted a black person or Hispanic person for a role in a live action remake that was previously a white person's role. You know, you need to ask yourself, does it matter? Not really. How much do I really care about this? You need to ask yourself all those questions. And it saves you a whole lot of heartache. It also makes you look way less like a freak in front of people that know you. What was the one thing? Like, we're gonna ignore the decades of white people being cast as like Native Americans and like in roles that were supposed to go towards the POC that they were portraying. Are we just gonna ignore that? Crazy. I conclude my statements on that matter. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand the outrage about it. I really don't. All right, let's watch the Minecraft movie trailer. I hope I don't get dinged for it. I might have to watch it on silent. I've already watched it, but I am kind of curious. There's a moment where there was a moment where the Minecraft soundtrack started playing, the C418 part of the soundtrack. And I'm kind of curious if they have the right to put that in there. Oh yeah, here you go. I'm wondering if they have the right to use C418 music in a trailer like that, or in the movie. I also love the opening line, as a child I yearned for the mines. The bee looks cool.
I am Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines, but something always got in the way.
Go on! Get out of here!
But the call of the mines was too strong. So one day, I started.
This.
A wonderland where anything you can imagine is possible. As long as what you imagine can be built out of blocks. Atta boy!
I wish we would stop doing the boom, boom, bum, bum, bum in the trailers for any movie. I wish we would stop doing that. That's always annoyed me. It's the same thing with like the with the violin that does like the steady climb.
Anything.
Also, the movie looks infinitely better now. I will add that. I'm liking the movie a lot more now than I was before. Now that they're showing us more somewhat accurate to Minecraft things. But anyways, my thing was yeah, it's like how the suspenseful violin sound will play in like horror movie trailers. I hate that. The same way that I hate the bum 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 like thing in trailers like this. Iron Golem looks sick. I'll say that much. The Iron Golem looks sick. There's a part that I missed because I was too busy yapping. There's another part that I thought looked awesome. I like the minecart. I like the... I'm waiting for it. This is neat. But I like the part with the elytras. We're ever gonna get to it. Word. This, yeah. Dude, they're literally flying with elytras. How awesome is that? I think this trailer renews... Also, look at this villager, man. This trailer really renews my faith in this movie. Like, I already know it's gonna be like the cringe little... I already know it's gonna be like somewhat kind of cringy, like most video game adaptations are. But I feel like it'll have a little bit of charm. The teaser trailer made it look like ass. This trailer renewed a lot of faith. I don't know if they like changed stuff or removed things and replaced them, but this restored my hopefulness for this movie.
What's this junk?
An ender
I liked this part.
pearl. Teleport you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No biggie.
Is Steve like in the early stage of the game?
Great. Now it's dark. That feel quick to anyone else?
I like the joke about how Minecraft days are only about 20 minutes. I guess if they're able to use Minecraft sound effects in the movie, then they're allowed to use the Minecraft soundtrack in the movie as well. I'm just surprised. I didn't think that C418 would have given them sufficient permission to use that song in the movie. I don't know. I know C418, from what I've heard, it could be wrong. It could just be C418 traditionalist dick writers saying this. But from what I have heard, C418 does not have the best working relationship with Mojang. Taking bets, how much C418 music do you think is in the actual film? Not a lot. Yeah, I don't know. If the ghast makes the sound effect, I mean, that alone is C418 sound effects, because that's his cat. He's the one that used to make a lot of the old sound effects for the game. One can only assume he signed on to the project a long time ago before Microsoft, yada, 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 yada. That or they begged on his door. Actually, you know what? The fact that it's in the trailer kind of confirms that they did indeed talk to him about it. I don't know. Interesting to think about. Yeah, I voted in that guy's poll. Only leitmotifs, I think, are gonna be in the movie. They're gonna reel everyone in with a light, quick 30-second scene, and the rest of the movie is just gonna be Lena Raine. Fuck off! I hate these, dude. Okay, small rant, because this guy pissed me off, calling Lena Raine generic. Dude, fuck off. I'm so sick of this. Why are we slandering the other soundtrack artists? Listen, I can play these on here because these are copyright free. I want you to listen to these songs and tell me they aren't certified bangers. This is So Below by Lena Raine. This is part of the Nether update, 1.16. This starts randomly playing, by the way, when you're in the Nether. One of my personal favorites is this one, also from the Nether update, also Lena Raine. Here's a song from the Caves and Cliffs update, called Ancestry, also by Lena Raine. Here's the music disc from that same update, also by her. Arguably, I've seen in many forums, arguably one of the best songs to be added as a music disc. Anyway, that's the point I was trying to make. I'm so over the slander of the other soundtrack artists. It's just so disrespectful. People do it to Aaron Sharoff as well. Aaron Sharoff released some of probably the most beautiful tracks to ever go into the game. Here's the Trails and Tales update, which was 1.20, I believe. He made the 5 songs for that update, one of which is a music disc. He made Echo in the Wind. You might actually notice that I use a remix of this song for the outro, as well as a remix of another song for the outro. Bromeliad, I believe is the way it's pronounced. Yeah, all of these artists that have made music for the game slap. I'm so sick of people saying that stuff. That's what I was referring to when I was talking about the C418 traditionalists that defend him to the teeth and yet will like trash and put down the other artists on the soundtrack. Yeah, those people are insane. Yeah. Really not a big fan of the people that say that stuff, just so they can defend C418. Small rant over. That's pretty much the end of the episode. I don't really have a fun fact. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all got any fun facts? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm dry on this one, on this episode. I really don't have any fun ones. Let me see if I have any saved somewhere. I thought I wrote a bunch of them down. I guess I didn't. Dang, man. Quick update before I go, though. I will say it seems that the Onion has indeed won their bid for the, has indeed won their bid for InfoWars. I think last time I talked about how Alex Jones's supplement company's lawyers were trying to contest the bid, and it seems that the Onion has come out on top. Yeah, no, I don't have any fun facts. What a shame. Well, hope y'all have a good rest of your week and a good weekend if you're watching this when this comes out. Listen to us on other streaming platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the big ones, and some of the small ones. We're also accessible probably on a Samsung fridge. If you have access to Samsung Music on a fridge, I'm probably on there, which is kind of funny to me. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can check us out on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. We have a $10 membership tier that gets you bonus content, and a $3 and a $1 tier that are just simply supporting roles, and the $3 tier gets you a Discord role. Okay. That's enough from me. See you guys next Friday. I act like I'm going to tease what I'm talking about next Friday. I have no idea. So, anyways, all right. Thanks for watching. Bye.